All righty, and we are live officially for the first time on the Fivers Futures YouTube channel. Let's see. Let me just make sure everything is good. Let me make sure everything is running smoothly because this one is the first one. Looks like everything is okay. Let me double check. All right. So if we have some people in the house, let me know in the comments. Say hello. Drop something in the chat. Let me know that you're here. And then we'll get right into it. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on in the world. Let's see. All right, everything seems good. Let's let those charts show. I have oil pulled up right now. And the market's going to open in about 30 minutes. So 30 minutes EST. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking to trade the micros today, the MNQ as usual. So we will see what happens there. I just want to make sure that everything is running smoothly. Everything seems to be running smoothly. Let me just make a quick check on the Fivers YouTube channel on another source. This way I'm sure that everything is good. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend and everything went nicely. I had a pretty good weekend. All right. Well, I see we have about 13 people watching, so let me hear it in the comments, guys. Let me hear it in the comments. How are you doing? How was your weekend? How are you feeling? How are we feeling about those markets? With everything going on, we have the war going on. That came out of nowhere, came out of the left field. So, all right, we got Pat Cullen. Let's do this. Welcome. Pat, let me know. Do you have a Fivers futures account yet or not? All right, we'll wait for Pat. But yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot to talk about. First, I want to touch on equities. And then we're going to talk about the obvious elephant in the room, what's going on with oil and, the whole geopolitical situation and the war going on over there in the Middle East. War is never a fun thing, for lack of a better term. It's usually very sad. But as traders, we have to look at the markets and see where we can take advantage of that. It is our job as traders to see, with events going on, how do we position ourselves and how we take advantage of that. Oh, I was asking Pat if you have your Fivers futures trading yet, your Fivers futures trading account. I could chat with you. Hello. We have Bala Roger. Do you guys hear me okay? Maybe you're not hearing me okay. Let me fix this mic up. All right. Nice. Well, good luck to you. What do you usually trade, Pat? Are you more gold guy or equities guy? Are you trading oil at all? All right, let's see. I see an interesting question here. We have Balarager, sorry, Balarager 6035 asking, can I give a brief difference between CFDs and futures? All right, no problem. Let's talk about that a little bit. So you on CFDs and futures, you can trade similar instruments. Now, on CFDs, you are getting information from CFD brokers. So CFD means contract for differences. You're not getting price and volume information from a centralized broker. So that's one key difference, and for me it's the main reason why I trade futures, because I use a lot of volume data and volume information. And you will see, for example, if you look on different platforms, if you're looking at the micro Nasdaq, right now it's trading at 24,406, and you will get that same data across all the platforms because everything is coming from the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and you will get similar data everywhere. Also, we could talk about spreads. The spreads are much tighter, even though the Fivers has great spreads, probably one of the best in the industry, but the spreads are very tight on futures, right? Also, you are trading fixed sizes. So since futures are leveraged instrument, they have inherent leverage. You're gonna get a little bit more. Well, it's going to be a little bit more tricky to manage your risk, but you're going to get more leverage. So your position sizing is going to be fixed. The easiest way to explain this is with the ES. All right, let's go into the ES, and I'm going to explain. So this is a long-winded answer, but I just want to make it clear because I know we have a lot of people, transitioning from CFDs into futures, or maybe are thinking about it. So first difference is the price and volume data. It's coming from a centralized exchange on futures, whereas on CFDs, it's basically your broker or prop firm providing that information. So you're going to see slight differences there. And then depending on which service you're using, your spreads are going to be different, right? Whereas here, the spreads are very tight. And I'll show you how the spreads look like in a minute. And then when it comes to your risk calculations and how size is calculated in futures, we are using ticks and points. So the tick is the smallest move the asset can make. So, for example, on on the ES, 1 point is equal to $50, right? So 1 point would be, so I could show you right now. If I'm risking, I have a preset risk. So if I put a buy limit order at 6671 and I'm risking 1 point, so 6,669.75, so it's 1 point from there. I'm risking 100 $100. So the calculations are going to be a little bit different. Wait, I'm risking 2 points there. Yeah. So size, the first difference, like I was saying, is volume data and is centralized, and second, the size of the moves are a little bit different, and you get inherent leverage with the assets. I hope that quickly answers your question. We're going to touch on that a lot. I'm going to make, if you check our Instagram and our YouTube, etc., I'm going to make a lot of educational videos on that. There are also, if you join our Discord community, I will be doing some webinars there to explain the differences and how you could make the switch, etc. I've never really traded CFDs, but I know a little bit about them. I've mostly stuck to futures because in the US, CFDs have always been a gray area. Not that you can't trade them, but it's kind of a gray area. So I've always stuck to futures because of the volume data. I trade using volume, and we'll see setups in a few and how I use that in my trading, and that's why I stick there. I hope I answered your question. So Pat says gold and Bitcoin. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so we got some crypto trading. Far from being a pro and staying consistent. Oh, look who's there. If it isn't Mr. Daniel himself. Hello, hello, sir. How you doing? Good to see you in the audience. All right, let's see, let's see. I hope you guys remember to like. If you're not subscribed there, you can go ahead and subscribe. It will help us greatly, will help the channel greatly. And all right, let's get into those charts, guys. Let's look at those charts. This is a really nice looking classic chart pattern formation here. We got a cup and sort of a handle forming. This pullback should have been a little bit higher. So if this was very bullish, we probably would have gotten something like this and a pullback around here and a continuation there. But we'll see what happens. I have decided to only take 2 trades a day. And this is an account I have specially for the live trading room. So I'm only going to trade it live. We can look at the stats real quick right now. So I only made 1 trade just to test it out, make sure everything was good. It's a 50K rebate account. So far, by the way, this is a way you can look at your trades. You can go up there on the top tabs. You click on this little icon there. It will open your stats. Let me do it again. You go up there, you click here, and then we can open this. And you will show you see it will show you your net profit, etc., etc. You can see your trades, and this is a rebate account, so your commission fees will be eliminated after the end of the trading day. You can look at your performance. So I opened this last Friday, and I'm only going to be using this to trade live. Hello, hello, hello. Hi to you, trade with Sakib. Sorry, guys, I do my best with the names. I hope I'm not botching any names right now. I see we have about how many people we got? We got about 13 people watching. All right. Let's get into those charts, guys. Let's get into those charts. Let's see what is going on. We're going to first start with my asset of choice, which is the Nasdaq, the NQ. So if you get our weekly newsletter, you're going to see that every week we send out a newsletter that has quick chart analysis by myself, and then great macro analysis by the man Udi. He is very knowledgeable about these macro situations, etc. I am not. I'll be honest. I am still in the process of learning and understanding everything. I've done a little bit of research, which I will show you guys. But yeah, so what I had in the newsletter were basic support and resistance levels. So where buyers were stepping in and where sellers were stepping in and pushing the price down. Now we can see we had a pretty significant gap there from what was that on the NQ from 24 600s, and open yesterday at 6 for the Asian session. We gapped down. Let me see how much. We gapped down 229 points, so almost a percent, and continued going down. Now we're making a nice little recovery here, but we're coming back to test this support area. So as you know, in technical analysis, support usually becomes resistance. So we'll see what happens around there. We'll go into the MNQ in a few, but what we're looking at here is equities moving down. Now that could be due to many factors. When there is uncertainty in the markets, things tend to move down. So people getting out of positions, you have fund managers moving funds around. Some of them probably deciding to go in more cash and take their profits. Maybe they're going to decide to reallocate some funds there. So we're not panicking yet. When as traders, we should never panic. We should see, you know, what's going on. What we could see though as a shift in the equities arena on the NQ or on the ES is that the average daily range has doubled. So let me put the NQ on a daily chart real quick. You could do that by clicking up there. Let's do reset. And here I have my week analysis layout. I'm going to go to a day. Just this is one of my layouts. There's nothing on it, so we could see. And so here, before there, you could see our days where actually the best way for me to show it is with a square. So you can see that our days were about this size, right? And as we move towards geopolitical tension, our days have gotten bigger, right? So the whole move during the day, the whole displacement has gotten bigger. So that means that volatility has increased. If volatility increases, we're going to have bigger moves. As traders, usually the recommendation is that you size down to control your risk. So that's the first thing we have to keep in mind trading this week and the following weeks is that our size should be a little bit smaller than usual, depending on how we trade, right? Let's look at the comments there. Hello, L Saint 3176. How you doing? And Sakib, CFD trader working with the fivers. Let's look at Sakib there. Let's pull you up. Trading with the fivers since 2024. And I also wanted to join the futures too, so that's why you're here. Awesome, awesome. Well, welcome. That's very good. You said since 2024, so it's been over a year now. That's nice. I hope trading has been going good for you, and I hope your trading has been going up and to the right, like my arrow behind me. I don't know if you guys can see it. And yeah, welcome to the futures side. So yeah, as I was saying, equities, we are in volatile markets. I didn't look at the VIX. By the way, the VIX is a way to measure volatility. I'll probably share a few things you can check on TradingView. Oh wow, the VIX is at around 30, so that's getting elevated. Just to give you a reference point, a regular VIX is usually between 17 and 20. That's pretty decent, or slightly above 20 is pretty decent for day trading. Below 17 is usually not ideal. That means that markets are pretty flat. Right now, things have popped up. I see they went all the way up to 34, 35. And well, you're not seeing it now. I'll share my screen in a few so you can see. You know what? Actually, let me do that right now. I'm going to share my screen so that you guys could see what I'm looking at, what the VIX is, and how I'm measuring volatility. This way, maybe you could do it too. So I'm going to share TradingView right now. Give me just 1 second. All right, we could look at the VIX together. All right, so basically, the VIX measures the volatility of the S&P 500, and right now it's trading at around 35. We've pulled back a little bit to 31. And to give you an idea, context, back in 2020, where things were super elevated, we went all the way up to 85, right? Now, if I go in and I look at the lines, by the way, this is a daily chart, so it's a daily VIX levels. We could see that we're usually in the lower end of this chart. So around this area here, we're usually between 17, 20. That's where it's ideal, at least for me, to trade. But now we've spiked up. So as tensions rise, volatility increases. Let's take a quick look at how things are looking on the the tick chart. Tick chart, we'll put it on a 5 minute. Well, the market hasn't opened yet, so we can't see it, but the tick chart shows you how many stocks are ticking up versus ticking down. So to go back to who asked me about the CFDs? Yeah, Balaraju. So the reason why I use futures is because I can use all these reference points accurately. So when I'm looking, for example, at something like the Vold ratio, which is up volume minus down volume, and I'm using that to assess my trade, which we'll probably see in a few. So it's basically subtracting how many assets are going up versus assets going down in the U.S. stock market. Because I'm trading futures, I know that this data, I can use it accurately, whereas you would have differences if you were using CFDs. Same thing for the tick, same thing for the advanced decline, which is how many stocks are advancing minus stocks declining, and the VIX as well. Not that you can't use them in the CFD world, but I I am sure that the data is accurate and will match what I'm seeing on the chart. So let me go back to sharing my Black Arrow screen. By the way, the software we used for trading futures with the Fiverr is called Black Arrow. Very fast. I really like it. And all right, let's go. We are back. All right, so Black Arrow is back. So, like I was saying, we're going to touch on equities. So, the Nasdaq. What are we looking to do? We're going to switch to the micro Nasdaq, and we're going to look at my quick analysis. So, usually, how do I trade? I'm considering um, levels first. So, let's just go to a clean layout, and actually, wait, we're gonna go back to there. Yeah. So let me hide my studies. Okay, so first thing I'm considering is the volume profile. So basically, the volume profile is showing you how much volume has been traded at which price. So that's what I'm usually using to kind of determine my levels. And when you're using volume profile, you will see something called the point of control, which is this red line here, which is where the most volume has been traded for the session. So I have this anchored to the start of the session. And then here, this high, okay, what we call this high volume node right here is where the most volume has been traded during the session. And we have our point of control. For me, like I've said on the other lives, this point of control will be kind of what I'll call the inflection point. So inflection is like the line in the sand for me for where we are bullish versus where we are bearish, right? And you can see that it coincides with VWAP, so volume weighted average price. This is kind of averaging the average price and weighing in the volume. And if we're trading above VWAP, we're bullish usually. And if we're trading below VWAP, we are bearish. So what I'm doing every day is checking, okay, where is my point of control? And then where are my, what we call value area highs and value area lows? So value area highs, you will see that there is less volume traded there, right? And this is another interesting area because if we break above it and continue higher, then price can move up sharply because there's not a lot of volume there. Basically, we don't have a fight for price going on between traders. This is why, for example, well, here, sorry, let me move the chart. Yeah, this is, for example, why, here we have very low volume because we gap down. So if we get back to this area, because there weren't a lot of traders arguing about price there, for lack of a better term, we could most certainly move up fast. And then we would have our value area low. So we also have what we call low volume nodes. So that's what we're talking about here. And these are areas where usually price tends to reject or reverse, right? So here we had a low volume node area, and you could see that the sellers pushed price down, but buyers started stepping in there and went back up to another low volume node area and went back down and went back up. So we're kind of consolidating here, and we'll see what happens. So the first thing for me are price levels. I'm usually trying to determine, okay, what are the prices of interest? What are the areas of interest when it comes to price? And I use the volume profile to help me determine that, but I'll also look at the candles and the patterns and how a group of candles are are reacting and determine my levels there, right? After that, the second thing I look at is the trend. So how fast are we moving? Are we moving up? What is the structure? Are we open? Are we moving fast and up? Are we moving slow? So yeah. Daniel just said US opening in 7 minutes on daylight savings time. Yes, indeed. Oh yeah, Sunday was daylight savings time. So that is something to be considered. I don't know where you are in the world, but we're opening in 7 minutes. Thank you for that, Daniel. So yeah, the second thing I'm looking at is the trend. So here we could see a clear trend of how price is moving. We moved up, pulled back, moved up, pulled back, moved up. We kind of broke the trend and moved up faster. And now we are seeing a little bit of a shift. Why do I say a shift? Well, what was happening before? First of all, we had a shift there. We had a price moving down in the structure there, right? We could clearly see that price was moving down. Then we had a break of structure and a new structure forming um, a reversal, right? And then here we could see that, so we had our low, our high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, another higher high, and even higher high. But now we've made a lower high. We've made somewhat equal lows here. We've made another lower high. So it seems like the structure wants to shift. So we'll see what happens there on the equities market. But like I said, first thing I'm looking at are levels. Second thing I'm looking at is the trend. And where we have intersections is where I kind of want to interact. So here you will see, and let me zoom in, you will see that my levels are interacting with the trend, and we have our line in the sand there. So we want to see what happens to decide what we're going to do. Possible scenarios are what? And that's where I'll be looking for patterns. Possible scenarios are we form a new lower low, and then since this is the point of control, we test this lower end of the trend here. And we also test this previous support level that might become resistance. And then we move back down. Well, so let's do that again. Let's escape. I'll show you what happened. So yeah, so we might move down, test this level, retest this, and continue lower. That is one possible scenario, and that would be an interesting scenario for me to trade. So we'll see what happens. All right, we are at market open. Market is going to open in about 1 minute. 1 minute, excuse me. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, well, less than a minute, about 30 seconds. You can see my timer there. We will see what happens there and what to do. We could quickly jump to the ES and see that we have a similar structure developing. It might be easier to manage our risk there. So we'll see. Maybe we'll trade the ES, not sure, but I don't trade immediately on the open. All right, we got the open happening right now. We are pushing up nicely. We have a volume. You see the volume bars going higher, I could turn on my volume profile and you're going to see. Where's my volume profile? There we go. Volume profile. You'll see that these volume bars will increase. Yes, sir. We have opened. Let's see what will happen. All right, guys, remember to like, remember to subscribe. If you're not subscribed yet, we are trading the volatility. We will see what happened. I will be live trading today. Since I'm trading, give me just 1 second. Since the volatility is elevated, we'll be trading with small size. Guys, we only got 6 likes. Come on, we got 17 people viewing right now and only 6 likes. Let's bring those likes up. Let's see if we could get equal numbers of viewers versus likes. All right, the ES is moving. Let's look at the Nasdaq. All right, nice. You see, we're retesting this previous level right there, the value area high. This would be an interesting place for a short, but since we're only 1 minute into the open, we're not going to trade this right now. We're going to wait. We're going to be patient. This is a 5-minute chart, by the way. Let's move down to a 1 minute. And I'm going to show you guys what I like to do. I like to have a 1 minute chart on one side at the open. I have my 5 minutes on the other side. Let's reset this just so I can have a better idea. And then I will open this, which is the flow map that could show me the orders. I think this has a little issue right now. Remember to bring those likes up, guys. This has been giving a little issue, so maybe we're not going to use this right now. We're just going to use we're just going to look at the candles, and the 1 minute chart can be a good proxy for the flow chart. All right, let's zoom out a little bit. So what I'm looking for right now is a clear rejection of this level. So what I want to see is a clear move down and then some type of consolidation and a continuation lower. Overall, my bias is, I would say, maybe 60% bearish so far. Again, I might be wrong, but we'll see. We will see what happens. Is the M and so Pat Cullen is saying, is the M and W patterns good to follow? So if you're saying M and W, you're probably talking about um wait, right click and reset the chart. That has worked for me when price tools are cluttered. All right, I'm gonna do that in a second. I just want to answer Pat right now. So when you're saying M and W, you're talking about either double top or uh, a double top or a double bottom. So yes, there are good patterns to follow. Now you don't want to just follow them blindly, right? You want to have multiple checks in your favor. So for example, right now, if we were to, since we're talking about M patterns, this is a very low time frame chart, but say we would go here and then we would form another high and then we would, retest this high and move down. Well, yes, we would have kind of that M pattern there, right? Which would be one check. The other check would be that we touched the previous value area high, so it's a clear level. It's where the gap opened. So there's what traders like to call liquidity here, right? So that would be a second check in our favor, and then we would have to see how are the candles moving, how sharply are they moving. So are we getting maybe maybe I could show it there. Are we getting, many wicks up there, or are we getting, so basically candles that look like this, right? Are we getting many wicks up there, or instead are we getting candles that look like this? So if we're getting candles that look like this, where the wicks are at the bottom and they're closing at the top and they're green candles, well, that would not really give us a good indication that the M pattern, so the one that you're talking about, is really valid. So it's better to not just look at the pattern, but look at multiple things together. And this way you can have confluence for your trade. So this is looking nice. We're getting a good amount of rejection here. I have a preset for my short trades, for my trade. Sorry, you could press alt on your keyboard and hover, and you will be able to get the sell limit. Now you can see I have predefined risk and take profit levels, OCO orders, and you could set that right here in the bracket. So you could go here, you press plus, you will see the brackets here. There's a little tool. Unfortunately, you can't see the tab that has open, but there's a little tab where you can set your preset, how much you want to risk or gain per trade. So I think that's very interesting if you want to trade fast. But you could also put your orders right here and enter or exit. Okay, so we're 5 minutes in. Let's look at the 5 minute chart. We are rejecting pretty nicely. Um, so my momentum traders could have taken a quick scalp there. Let's see how much movement that is. That's a good 50, 59, 60 points from the wick there. That's a good 100 points. So that would be nice. Um, so we'll see. But to answer your question, Pat, yes, the pattern M and W are decent patterns. You just have to do them along with other checks in your favor. I wouldn't just go in because something looks like an M or something looks like a W, right? You want to do it because there are multiple points where it matches. Otherwise, you might get good example is otherwise you might get into here where you have everything looks like an M and everything looks like a W and you're getting lost, right? So we have a W right here. If you want to talk about W's, this is W. Is it valid? Well, if you bought it here, maybe, but you just want to have multiple points of confluence. All right, this is looking good. Let's compare it to our 5 minute chart. Okay, so not yet valid for a trade for me, but we're still looking. We want to see what happens. We're going to jump to the ES real quick and see. Okay, the ES is actually looking more bearish than the NQ, which is good. So we might take our trade on the ES. We will see. Interesting thing I want you guys to notice here is we had high volume here and we had rejection. Let me try to do what Daniel said with the because I like to see the flow of the orders. Gives me a feel. Let's do reset, right click and reset chart. Okay, this is looking good. All right, nice, nice. Thank you, Daniel. Volume at market. We don't need this. Nice. So this is the flow chart is showing you where the orders are sitting and how much volume is being traded. So for the person who asked about CFDs, this is something I like with futures that you don't get on CFDs. And oh man, I think I'm gonna miss my entry. Wait, let's go to the MES because this is too. Let's go to the 5. Let's go to the 1 minute. All right, I missed the entry. I could have shorted the bottom. I'm gonna wait for a pullback and see if I could get another better entry. So discipline, guys. It is difficult to trade and talk at the same time, but I'll try to do my best and do both. But yeah, we're looking. So let's link this. Link 1. Let's link. By the way, if you want to link the asset you're looking at here to the chart, what you do is you go here, you press link. So everything for me is on link one. I only do the asset link, not the time link. And yeah. So let's look at the chart again. Let me close. I don't need the volume profile right now. So you see right now we are breaking structure on the MES. We had our trend. This was the lower end of the trend. We've broken, we've retested, and we're going down. So my entry would have been somewhere around here. So I could have risked the previous high. We're still okay. You know what? I'm gonna take the trade right now. All right. So we're risking 166 bucks. This is a one-to-one trade. We'll probably keep it moving down. But right now, I'm risking the previous high. And this is a one-to-one trade if it moves back down, all the way down to this previous consolidation level. So we'll see if this trade works out. A little bit late entry for me, but we'll see what happens. So we took this on the 5 minute, and we will let this work. I'll be honest, I had a little bit of FOMO. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes back up to retest those levels here and goes back down. We'll see. Probably should have waited. But if things are very bearish, then we'll move down pretty fast. So we'll see what happens. So let's let this run. This is all done live in front of you guys, for you. I'm not hiding anything. This probably, if it moves down pretty fast, we could probably turn it into a 2-to-1 risk reward trade, aiming for those previous lows. The ES usually moves about 50 points a day, but ever since the war started, we've been moving a lot more. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 100-point move on the ES. So that would be 38 points. That would be about 66. And yeah, all the way down here would put us at 100 points. So we'll see what happens. I'll move this to about a 2-to-1 risk reward in my previous levels. But depending on how price moves, I want to close the trade before the end of the stream. So I'll probably close it earlier. All right, guys. So while we let this trade cook, we're not gonna touch anything. We'll take the loss if it's a loss, and we'll try a second time if we find a second setup. But just the logic behind the trade, even though it's a late entry, is that I was wanting to take it on the Nasdaq, but the ES showed a better setup. We broke the structure right here. Wait, we broke the structure right here. We pulled back. We retested both the lower end of the trend and retested those highs. And my better entry would have probably been here, all right, around 676, 675, risking those previous highs. That would have been the better entry. We didn't get this one. As I saw, we started going beyond support and going beyond VWAP. With increased volume, I decided to get in. It still makes sense because I risk about 100 bucks per trade. So we'll see what happens there. So we had break, retest, and we're moving down. So right now, hopefully we get some kind of formation like this, a pullback, and then we find a lower moving structure moving forward. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, we'll live to trade another day. So another thing I want to touch on. So we've touched on equities, all right, and I said that usually during times of uncertainty, equities sell off. First of all, people probably want to be in cash. Asset managers have to reallocate and kind of see where they're going to shift their cash holdings to. Maybe what are they going to buy? They're going to take profits, etc. So equities tend to sell off and the ranges get higher, so you have to trade smaller. Right now you can see I'm trading the micros and I'm trading small size, so we'll see. What I want you guys to see right now actually is buyers have started to step in. So if we go to a 1 minute chart, you see buyers are stepping in, and this previous level, we could probably see it on NQ as well. You see, this previous support level is where people are stepping in to buy again. You can see we have wicks there. So we'll see what happens. The trade is probably going to form later in the day on the NASDAQ if we are bearish. So the break of structure that we got on the ES, let me put this on a 5 minute chart. The breakup structure that we got on the ES will probably happen later here. Yeah, this would also probably be a valid entry if it breaks decisively. A little bit too much to risk for me. So, so yeah, we'll leave that one alone. Yeah, buyers are really stepping in, so I might be wrong. We'll see. Anyways, yes, equities tend to sell off in moments of uncertainty. Now, on the contrary, other assets like gold, let's take a look at gold. What is gold doing? This is an hourly chart. And then if we go to my weekly analysis that we send out every week, we are testing those support levels, right? Gold is a safe haven asset. So we expect, or at least I expect, for gold to move higher. Now, again, we had a pretty decent sell-off on gold, from the 5400s all the way down to, the 5000s. So that's pretty significant. 7% down, 421 points more or less when the war broke out. Now we're consolidating because I think there's hesitation, and people are probably wondering, well, you guys can't forget that we had a huge run up in gold that was pretty significant. Sell off, we had continued to move up, and I was expecting things to continue and probably form new highs, but maybe that will happen later during the year. Now I think we're kind of in wait and see mode, and gold being a safe haven asset, I'm thinking we'll probably still get some kind of move up on it. Maybe later, maybe we'll continue to consolidate. Maybe we'll try to test the lower, maybe somewhere around here at previous support levels. So maybe somewhere around here. And then it's entirely possible. Let's reform this again. So maybe we'll test lower levels here. And it's entirely possible that around the 4900s, we see rejection and buyers start stepping in, and we start, maybe consolidate again, and we start forming new highs. But that's a little bit longer term. So we'll see what happens on GC, on gold. Pat there, I know you're a gold trader. We'll see what happens. Let's just go back to our trades, see how things are moving along. Okay, buyers have stepped in. This was to be expected. Like I said, we didn't have the best entry. So we will see. Maybe buyers are trying to, close that gap, that previous gap that we had here before moving lower. But the logic for me is we broke the trend, we retested these levels, and we should have some type of structure that moves lower. If that happens, great. If that doesn't happen, well, we'll reevaluate. We'll see. Anyway, so yeah, we touch on gold. Go back to gold. Daily chart. Reset. Yeah. So right now, this is a daily chart. This is what gold is looking like. And again, we are in, I would say, observation mode around here, right? I think everybody's like, okay, let's wait and see. The big money is kind of waiting and see, what is the situation going to be. Are we going to take our gold profits and reallocate them somewhere else? Because there are equities that tend to go up in times of uncertainty. Of course, you have the oil charts, the oil stocks. You have weapons manufacturers. So maybe we're in wait and see mode, and they're going to see, okay, where can we reallocate? Where can we put our gold profits and deploy that and see, where can we as traders make even more profit thanks to this situation, even though it's a sad one, but it is what it is. So this is my quick take on gold. Now let's look at the big elephant in the room. But right before I touch on the big elephant in the room, let's hide this. We want to see, by the way, thanks Daniel for the tip for the refresh. We want to see, let me leave the trade on. All right, we're still green, guys. So it's looking good. This is not a trade I'm looking to add on because my entry wasn't great. So we'll just let it run and see what happens with the trade. Let me see, guys. Do we have some likes? Give me some likes. Give me some thumbs ups. Remember to like. Remember to subscribe. Let me just take a quick look at. So I was telling you guys about the advanced decline and the all the tick charts and everything I look at. I didn't really have time to look at those while I was taking the trade, but I could show them to you right now. I'm going to pull them up. I use them on TradingView so everybody can use them as well. So let me set that up real quick for you guys. And I'm going to show you what I look at when I'm entering a trade. 1 second. All righty. Let's share. Okay, so this is the VIX. This is a 5 minute. VIX is ticking up, which means volatility is there. Advanced decline, we are ticking down, right? I don't know if you could see it there. So we are red, which means things are looking slightly more bearish, which is good for us for our trade. The tick chart, though, is ticking green and it's ticking up. So that means you have more equity assets that are ticking up than ones ticking down. So that's not very good for us. We'll see. And then advanced decline. Well, we're kind of in the middle. We were ticking down. Now we're kind of in pause mode. So we'll see. So these are things I usually look at. Let's look at the volt ratio. Volt is kind of neutral right now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. I could see my list is looking pretty red. Let's take a quick look at what NVIDIA looks like. So NVIDIA, I'm looking at NVIDIA because, it's part of the equities market. It's a huge market leader. NVIDIA is ticking green. Apple's ticking green, so kind of reversing. Tesla's ticking down. All right, we're down 2.9% on Tesla. Amazon ticking down. I even have the CFDs, by the way. NAS 100 ticking down. This is a 5 minute chart. SPX ticking down. Okay, so we'll see. We do have NVIDIA holding things up, but the good thing is that we're below VWAP. So hopefully we'll stay there. We'll see. And Apple ticking up. All right, let's get back to Black Arrow and look at oil. That's the big elephant in the room that we still haven't looked at. Let me just switch my screen right now. 1 second. I should have put some music. I'm going to see if I can find some music there. Put some music in the background. Our trade is still looking green, which is good. Let's put on a 5 minute. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we are at this previous consolidation level. And I have not seen, it's about to be 10 o'clock. I don't like to hold trades. Let's see, 10 o'clock. Let's put in an hourly. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a fan of holding trades into the next hourly candle open, but we might just do that today. We'll see. We're about to the hourly candle is going to open in about 5 minutes. So, we might see a complete reversal of this because I feel that this has not moved down fast enough. So, you see on the lower time frames, that's what I was about to say. We are we are seeing buyers step in, lower we're still forming lower lows, this low and this low and lower highs, but we might see a structure shift here and reverse higher, right? I don't know if I want to be riding this all the way up there and down. I would have preferred for this to happen sooner and for us to move down. This is looking like, where buyers might have stepped in. And also, we didn't even touch this inflection point. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully by 10 o'clock, sellers step in, which so far is looking okay. Um, we'll see. Oh, sorry. This whole time, I thought I was showing you my chart, but I wasn't. All right, let's look at my chart again. What I was saying is I am not a fan of, let's put this on an hourly chart. For the ES trade, I'm not a fan of holding into an hourly candle, right? Because we could see a complete shift. So, for example, if you were trading here, you see this hourly candle completely shifted and the trend reversed here. So, this might have just been a quick pullback and we continue higher to close this gap. We'll see. Um, what I would have preferred is when I shorted a this pullback that was here would have been a pullback here and then sell here and a continued move there. But the way it's moving right now and the fact that right here we did not test this, we didn't even come close to testing this inflection point, which was the previous point of control. It shows that buyers are kind of stepping in and they probably want to hold this up more than I would like since I'm in a short. So we'll see what happens. We're staying calm, we're staying patient. We've been, by the way, if you want an idea of how your performance is doing, you can open this, look at the chart, and see how your asset is moving, right? So we'll see. We'll see. But right now, buyers are stepping in. So we might see a reversal and I might get stopped out. So we'll see. 10 o'clock is about 2 minutes away. Oh, sorry, guys. So we'll see what happens. All right. It says, did anyone catch that move? So nice. Somebody caught the move on YM. Daniel did. Show the graphics. Hello, hello. FX Prasad. Hello, JPMA. Hi, everybody. Daniel says he's on YM. So let's check out YM. All right, YM is trading below the VWAP, so we'll see what happens there. What I could show you real quick is if I was going to do my analysis on YM, how I would do it. So we could do that real quick. What I would do first is determine the levels. So we would do point of control. And if you have questions, guys, drop it in the chat. If you want to see anything in particular, if you have questions about anything in particular, our programs or futures or whatever, let me know. And remember, like, and subscribe. We'll be doing this every day. And we have a lot of fun stuff coming in because we'll have traders coming in doing their analysis on the assets. We'll have a lot of fun stuff coming your way. All right. So previous level here. And then we have our low volume node, which was here, which is what's being tested right now. We would have another level down there. All right. And then interesting thing for you guys. So technical analysis says that you have to find, oh, sorry. let's move this right here. You have to find, for example, 2 wicks. So I would say here and here, 2 wicks to trace your trend lines, right? Or maybe 2 closes. So it would be this close and this close. What I have found is that it is better, at least for the way I trade, and buyers are stepping in, guys, by the way. Um, for the way I trade is to switch to a line chart, go up a few time frames. So let's say we're trading the 5 minutes. So we go up 3 time frames, which is the 15. And I will use this as a guide for my trading. So I will use the simplified line chart to find the trend. And I found it to be much more accurate. And then I'll switch back to the candles and I'll be using a group of candles to find the trend. And maybe I'll adjust if I need to, right? So this would be my trend on the YM. YM is looking somewhat bearish. Buyers are trying to hold it. So we'll see. So we have our horizontal levels. We have our trend. Let me just put this a little bit dotted because I don't want to see too many lines there. But this is a buy area. This is a good buy area. So we'll see if it holds or not. But this would have been my quick analysis on this asset. Hey, Evan. Hey, in the wild trades. How you guys doing? You said, where are our German our German futures at? You mean the DAX? If the DAX is not listed, DAX is not German, but if it's not listed, we are still listing additional assets. Let's see. Let me see. I don't remember what the full list of, since I don't trade Forex, but I know a lot of you guys are Forex traders. Let's see. I know there's a full list of assets traded, and I know we had shared it on the Discord. Let me quickly look at. All right, guys, give me just 1 second. I'm looking at where the full list is, and hopefully I can find it for you. Well, buyers are stepping in, guys. Buyers are stepping in. Looks like I might get stopped out. Give me just 1 second. I'm looking for the full list of assets. And if I can't find it right now, I will definitely share it on the Discord. So if you're on the Discord, we'll share it. I think it's already on the Discord, actually. Just 1 sec. I know Daniel shared it. I can't find it there. But what I can tell you is that we are going to list additional assets. So the assets we don't have, we are going to have additional assets soon. All right. Well, the trade is not working. And buyers have stepped in. So we'll see. It will either retest the trend. So let's actually move this here. I would copy this, move this here. This is either a retest and it will move down, or it will get broken and then taken and we'll close the gap. So I'm not going to touch the trade. We'll see what happens there, and we'll let it happen. And our friend Oil. Now, I don't know if you guys are trading oil, if you like to trade oil, but it's something I want to briefly touch on. The world runs on oil. I know we have a lot of renewable energies and a lot of stuff going on, but we have not developed the technology to run everything on oil. So, what happened is war broke out. War broke out in the Middle East, which is an area where a huge part of the oil is produced, the oil in the world. And we have the Strait of Hormuz, which is very close to Iran. Unfortunately, I don't have a map there to show you. And if I'm not mistaken, about 20% of the world's oil travels through there. We see oil waking up right now. This is a 60-minute chart. It's dropped to a 5 minute. And since war broke out and oil was not going to be able to be distributed the same way, the price went up, right? Offer of supply and demand. If there's less supply, but still a lot of demand, the price is going to go up. Things are going to get more expensive. And I can tell you, I'm in the US, I've already seen prices at the pump start going up. So, what can we expect? Well, we can expect if the war continues, we can expect for oil prices to stay up for a while. So I don't know if you guys remember, but back in 2022, when Russia invaded Ukraine, we saw oil spike up. Now it didn't stay up for long, and I'll try to find the chart in a few, but it didn't stay up for long. But we did touch those $100 highs. Now, if oil is priced high, everything else goes up in price, right? Everything else, meaning what consumers are consuming, for lack of a better term. Let's see. Somebody said nice move. Yes. All right. Nice. We're looking good. It rejected. You see? Very nice, guys. Sorry. I just saw the comment and I saw Daniel say DAX and Eurex is not yet listed, but probably coming is one of the more popular. Yes, probably. I know we have other assets in the pipeline. I've had a lot going on. I haven't checked that specifically, but I'll check and let you guys know in on Discord, or I'll let you know tomorrow on the live. So yeah. Yeah, what I was saying is regarding to oil. Let me just check something real quick. I'm checking another chart, guys. Right now, I'm checking the charts I mentioned earlier. I want to see how the VIX is moving, even though it's not there. All right, we have our equities moving down. Nvidia that was ticking up, moving down. And let's see, VIX is ticking higher, which means volatility is increasing. Advanced decline is ticking lower. Tick is ticking lower. All right, so things are looking good on the short side. So far, so good. We are about 0.3 R. So we'll see. Yeah. So let's go back. Nice move in ES. Yes, thank you, JBMA. You had me check everything out. So yeah, like I was saying, back in 2022, when the war broke out in Ukraine, we had oil tick up, right? What's going to happen is if oil prices stay up, you're going to have gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel prices tick up also. So everything gets more expensive within days, weeks, whatever. And then inflation is probably going to jump, right? So they're going to have to revise the CPI, and I think CPI is coming out this Wednesday. I have to check the date. And I think it's going to be a tricky job for the Fed to decide what to do with rates because the United States is involved directly in the war, right? Usually you have a war, like for example, Ukraine, Russia, where the US dollar is not necessarily, and the US as a nation is not necessarily directly involved in the conflict. So that makes the Fed's job a little bit easier. But when the US is directly involved in the conflict, well, they cannot cut rates while inflation is surging, and they can't do that even though the economy might be slowing. So we'll see what happens there. But to go back to oil, let's open oil back up. We're ticking up again, guys. We're ticking up, and we're ticking up with volume. Unfortunately, I'm not really an oil CL trader short term, but so far, the way the situation is going, prices are going to go up. Now, what the Fed might have to do is print more money, like they did during COVID. And with printed money, we'll see a lot of liquidity get poured into markets. So we'll see what happens there, right? Um, so we've seen a start of a sell-off. Let's check. Okay, Daniel's saying check YM 5 minutes. Let's check the YM. Hey, nice one, nice one, nice one, nice one, Dan. Looking good. You're looking good. All right, let's check the ES. Well, ES is holding up higher. Let's check the micros. You see, the NQ is the more bullish of the three, right? When it comes to equities, because it held up pretty well compared to the other one. We've seen a similar structure. We had this kind of cup and handle formation. Oh, I'm gonna touch on that M pattern we were talking about this morning, because I see somewhat of it. Well, it's not a perfect M pattern, but I'll touch on it. So yeah, if we look at this, we could see that we're still holding up at those support levels, right? On the MNQ or NQ. If we look at the ES, those were the previous support levels here, right here, but we broke lower. So in terms of a short, this is actually the best the best entry, and this morning would have been here, right? When I said 675, you see we retested there. So if I had the intention of adding, this would have been a good add. Now, lucky for Mr. Insomnia Trader, look at how beautiful this has been. You had the lows here, right? That got taken, and the lows acted as resistance. So let me go down on an even lower time frame. So we moved down, we moved back up. This probably was a good entry. What was your entry, um, Daniel? Let me know what was your entry. And then we had a great sell-off right here. When things moved sharply and moved fast like this, that means that traders are agreeing that okay, we need to move lower. So this is a very good setup. So out of the three assets, this is a very good example of how you can use one asset as a proxy to express a trade idea on another. So we were looking to trade the MNQ. We ended up trading it here because it looked more bearish for us, but the better asset would have been the YM to take the trade. So we'll see. What might happen is I get some follow through here. Huh. Yeah, buyers are really holding this thing up. Um, Alrighty. Yes. So guys, don't forget, set a reminder that we go live every day. And like I was saying, I won't be by myself. There will be other traders coming in, more experienced traders, people have been trading longer than I have. We have Airplane Jane coming in. She's an expert in equities. She's been trading for over 2 decades, so lots of experience there. She'll be touching on everything that's going on. And yes, for the person who's asking, JPMA 976, the orange line is VWAP on my chart, volume weighted average price. Let's go back. All right. All right. I'm going to take the risk off on this one because I'm talking and I can't be really monitoring the trade. Risk off. And the way they're buying here, I'm not a fan of. Now, take profit was earlier here. I don't think we're gonna get as good of a trade as I hoped for, and I might end up getting stopped out, and we might just get a what's it called, a scratch trade. But yeah, my target was somewhere around here, this consolidation area right below this inflection line. I moved it down to a 3-to-1 here. So we'll make it. It'll either be a break even trade or it'll work. But at this point in the day, I need a fast move down. Not too much of a pullback for it to confirm, just because on a relative strength basis, we have the NASDAQ holding up. And if we don't see quick rejection, let's see how much we've moved. Yeah, we've moved 200 points, which there's room and we're holding above VWAP. So we'll see. 46942. Nice. Let's see. 46942. Oh, nice. You got a good entry. 46942. Whoa, 948. Yeah, so I assume somewhere around this level. So that's a nice entry. Buyers are stepping in. Um, so we'll see what happens. But I'll just leave this for a scratch trade. JPMA said 660. So you were trading or you're trading JPMA. I see 660. You were trading, I would assume, the ES. Oh, true. You're using FXCM. Yeah, no problem. Nice, nice, nice. 660 was your entry as well? Let me know. So yeah, if we don't see fast rejection here, let's see on a 5 minute. If we don't see a fast rejection here, we'll probably I'll just leave it as a scratch trade, and we'll start over tomorrow. That will be my one trade for the day. Well, my one trade live, because this account is our account, guys. This is a community account. That's where I'll be taking all my live trades, and we'll see how they go together. But yeah, buyers have been trying to hold this up for a while. So yep, we're getting stopped out. Okay, that's my one trade for the day. $7. We'll call it a scratch trade. Yeah, percentage wise, yeah, 2%. So yeah, we'll leave that here. But back to, there might be another opportunity. We'll see. Yeah, VWAP is strong. We'll see what happens. The real trade was here, which was great. Let's look at the NQ. Not crazy about all this consolidation right here. We're not getting clean moves yet. That shows you that traders are hesitating. We have buyers fighting, sellers fighting. So we'll see. 6626, not sure, maybe 660. Okay, let's see. Said 6626. All right, we'll see. My VWAP is there. We will see. But for me, that was a scratch trade. We'll gonna eat buyers for dinner. Nice one, Daniel. We'll see. We'll see what it does. Let's actually take a look at the whole. I'm gonna bring back the. I want to bring back trading view so we can look at all the indicators I look at and see what's going on in the overall equities market. One sec. Let me find this thing. Share screen. All right. So tick chart. Well, we're not up, we're not down. Most of the Mag 7 is looking red, but we're over VWAP, so maybe they're rejecting here. This is Apple, Nvidia. Maybe we're forming a triple top. We'll see. Tesla's been moving down cleanly. So if you were trading Tesla short today, you were pretty well off. What's down 2%? Let's look at Microsoft. Yeah, we're kind of in the middle there. Amazon. Let's look at VIX is still around 31. Advanced decline. We're still declining. Tick chart. Yeah. Yeah, let's look at some other. Let me look at the Russell. Russell not looking too shabby. YM, we saw it already. NQ. Yeah, so we're still in this we're still pretty in this range here, right? What we would want is a clean break out of the range. So what we would want is let me find my drawing tool right now. What we would want is a clean when we got that second rejection here. What would have been nice is a move down here below VWAP, retest, continue to move down. Right now things are kind of shifting in my opinion. So we'll see. Maybe we should look for longs. I like to look at the cues. Yeah, buyers are stepping in, guys. Buyers are stepping in. Let me switch back to Black Arrow. Or be eaten. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Daniel says he's gonna he's gonna be eaten. Let me bring Black Arrow back. Yep. Buyers with lazy volume. We'll see, man. There's not too much volume behind this move. That's true. Where's my all right. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna put some music on a while ago, but I didn't put anything on. So let's see. What do we have here? Let's put a little bit of a. You guys hear it? Let me know if you hear it. If it's too loud or not. All right, no problem. Thanks, Daniel. He said he's got to run. Yeah, we got a little bit of music on. Let me know if you want it higher. Keep us alive. Let's see if we can find another setup. Let's look at gold a little bit. Put it on a lower time frame. I don't trade gold intraday, by the way. It's very rare. I usually swing trade it. Good thing about the fivers, remember guys, you can hold trades overnight. Thanks, Daniel. By the way, Insomnia Trader is our super mod who's always quick to respond. So if you're on our Discord, you will find him there. You can ask him questions. He's a pretty good trader, very good trader actually. He's been trading for a while. Good coder and all around great guy. All right, you see guys, we would have gotten stopped out. That's why I got out of the trade, because that retest didn't continue lower. And my inflection area right here is where we started getting bought. I don't see a long entry yet that makes sense to me, because we moved down, buyer stepped in, we moved up right now. Let's put it on a higher time frame. But this might still be a rejection and another short, right? Now, if we're looking at this like a range, starting from this previous high, right? We're looking at the low here and well, I like to use the closes. And then if I copy this, I don't think we even got a whole, yeah, exactly. We only got to the 50% area of this previous move. So we moved half. So let me show you. We moved, so if this is the distance, right? The total distance, when we moved from here to here, we moved about half of the distance. So what I was looking for was at least the full distance of this. So if this was the consolidation here, I was looking for at least a full move down here, and I would have taken my profit there. Since we didn't do that, I got out, we retested. I was thinking maybe this was going to be a complete reversal, but maybe it's not the case, and maybe now we're going to get the real move and move completely down. So we'll see what happens there. But either way, I am not liking the setup, and either way I missed my entry if I was going to go short. I already taken the entry there. I'm not going to take it lower there, because here we go again. You said price and point of control. Here we go again. Well, we'll see. I mean, if you're short JPMA, I hope you get it, but I'm out. Let's look at the NQ. Yeah, NQ is holding up, you know, high. We're not retesting previous lows. This was a support area. So, you know, had I seen this, and we got some decent volume here, at least on the 1 minute. Let's look at the 5. So we'll see. Maybe we'll drop later in the day. Not sure. But since on this account I insist on taking trades live, I just want to take things that make sense. All right. Anybody has some questions in the chat? I'm open to questions. By the way, I just want to let you know that for now, we have 2 offers. We have our base camp and our rebate offer. Actually, let me just share that on the screen so you guys can see. Give me just 1 second. I'm loading up all right, I'm loading up the website. I'm going to share the screen with you guys. 1 second. Yeah, I like that tune. I'm going to have to find a few tunes. Okay, so right now what I have is our FAQ. If you guys have questions, all or most questions are there. All right. And somebody was asking about the assets and I couldn't find it, but I did end up finding them. Here they are. All the tradable assets are here. ESNQYM, RTY. Wait, am I sharing? Make sure I'm sharing. Yes, I'm sharing. Yeah, all of the equity markets are there. We have the currencies. These are the ones that are available right now. So you can see them there. We have our metals here: gold, silver, copper, platinum, palladium, micro gold. We have our energy sector here, agriculture. And actually these might go up during times of uncertainty. We could check them out in a few to see how they are. And round turn commission is $5, just so you could know. And if you have a rebate account like I'm trading right now, these will be discounted at the end. Now let me show you the accounts real quick. Let's go to the Fivers. So when you go to the Fivers, you go get funded, you can see the futures section. So that's the regular CFD programs, futures, and we also have Trade to Pool and TGT, our CFD broker partner. You click here and then you will find the programs. So we'll have, put that again. You will have the base camp and the rebate. So base camp is full commissions. We have a 25K and a 50K program, right? With the cost there, the contract size, etc. The base camp, I would say, is better for beginners. So you only pay the activation fee once you pass. So for example, for the 25K base camp, you pay $50. And then when you pay, by the way, this is not a monthly fee. This is a one-time fee. So you pay the $50, and once you pass, you pay the $70. Now, if you want the rebate one, you will pay $150 right on the bat, and you're done. So it's actually cheaper if you know you can pass on your first try, right? If you're maybe more experienced. And then the 50K programs, which are similar but help you buy a little bit more. And you could start here. We have program specifications, etc., etc. Now, very interesting. You can scale up all the way up to $500,000. So buying power, that is great every time you reach a 10% target. So I think this is awesome, right? All right, let me not stay on this too long. I know we're here to trade. We're here to see what's going on in the live markets. So we're gonna go back to the Black Arrow platform, just one sec, and see what's going on in the markets. And then I see some comments coming in. I'm gonna check them in a few, just give me a sec. All right, price, important control. JPM, here we go again. All right, we're back. Faisal says, please review the platform. Can I give you a promo code? Oh man, yeah, the promo code today is ES, trade the ES. That's the promo code. No promo codes for now. If you were an early sign up, we gave great discounts, but that is not going on right now. Okay, Faisal, you said please review the trading platform. So just for me to understand, you want me to explain the functionality of the trading platform for you? If that's what you want, please give me a yes in the chat and I will do that right away. I'll show you a quick show graduation certificate. I don't understand what you mean by that. Please review the trading platform and please show graduation certificate. I don't understand that second question. If you're asking for did I pass the challenge, I haven't passed the challenge. I'm actually doing it right now today. This is my, I would say, first day trading the account officially. I want to trade this in front of you guys and pass the challenge in front of you so you can see if that's what you're asking. So make the questions clear, Faisal. Graduation certificate, I'm not sure what you're asking here. But I can show you the platform. So let's do that real quick. And we also have on our YouTube and on our Discord, we have a deep dive into the platform. So if you want to check that out, you can. Anyways, let's go back. So platform, once you go in, you log in. Sorry about that noise. I got a truck passing by. Yeah, so once you log in, like any trading platform, you'll have your top menu here. You won't be able to see, let me see, all the menus, but here you have all your menus. I see another. Yes, do the platform. My charts flicker on my laptop, but my desktop is okay. All right, Evans, I suggest you download. I don't know if you're, so we have a web version of the platform. We have, oh, we're looking bullish here. We're looking bullish. We're looking bullish. It's too much risk. I missed that one. All right. So you have your menus here. We're going to review the platform and then I'm going to get to you, Evans. So here you can select your time frame. You can select a chart here to open a chart, and then you can dock it wherever you want. And then here you can link it to if you want to have multiple charts. Now, once you open the chart here, you can have your little different time frames. I have them preset, but you can click here and add or remove intervals. So if you click add interval, well, you don't see it here, but it'll pop up. So that's how you get your charts. Now here you can get your there are many ways to do the same things on Black Arrow, by the way. So here you can get your indicators. If you click here, you don't see the menu pop up, but it's there. You could use these buttons to trade. You also have, you could look at your portfolio. You could look at, you could look at, you know, the summary of your trades, etc. And there's a great risk management tool that you can't see there, but you click and it'll be shown to you. I need to find how I can enable the pop-ups so you guys can see them. So now if I minimize my chart, you can see I have multiple charts loaded at the same time. That is my layout. And I have different layouts for the same asset. So here I have my weekly analysis, NQ, day analysis, and trading layout. So I bounce from here to there depending on what I want to see. And then you have your ordering window there, right, where you can put your orders. And if you right click on it, you could change the setting. And also you could trade directly on the chart. So you could click this plus button here and then buy and sell. You could set alerts, whatever. And then there's a shortcut. If you press shift and click, you're gonna buy. If you press alt and click, you're gonna sell. Man, I missed this long. So yeah, so these are the basics. And then your indicators are right there on the chart. You can click on indicators. You can't see the menu right now, but it's going to open a menu and you have all the indicators. Once you load an indicator, it's going to pop up here. For example, I have my volume profile, which is here, and I have it, you know, anchored to the beginning of the session for multiple sessions. You can click on the arrow, the little tool here. You can't see it, but a menu again will pop up where you can modify the parameters. I have my moving averages if you want, anything here. And then, just like in TradingView, if you use TradingView, you have drawing tools. You can turn them on or off here, and then on and off here. They're on both sides. and you can, draw your trend lines. You can draw your, for example, anchored VWAP. If I wanted to anchor my VWAP to this high, for example, right now, this yellow VWAP is anchored VWAP. And all the drawing tools here to write, if you want to, do like a position sizing thing and check your positions, you have all that there. So this is a quick, easy overview of the platform. The assets that you trade, they come by default and they're here. How do you look for an asset? What I usually do is I will click on this plus sign. Ooh, nice rejection. And you can't see it, but the menu will pop up. I will select futures, and that's where I'll select what I want to trade and what I want to find. So yeah, this is a quick overview. Oh, by the way, you can hover here to select the cross, the hand, zoom in, zoom out, hand to move. And then if you select control, you click control once, it'll give you the measuring tool. And then if you click it again, it'll move the chart around. So you can go back and forth from clicking control to move the chart around. All right. Bracket 1 to 1. All right. So yeah, this is a quick overview of the platform, but we did a deep dive. So if you go on our Discord or on our YouTube channel, you'll find an overview. And also Black Arrow has a bunch of tutorials. If you go on the Black Arrow YouTube, you'll see tutorials on Black Arrow. I'm going to mute my mic for a sec. Sorry, there was a truck going by and I wanted to mute it because I didn't want it to sound in your ears. Okay, so can I use MT5 or only trade locker? So if you're trading futures, not CFDs, the only platform we're using, so I'm seeing good rejection here, guys, by the way. This is looking good. Let's see what it looks like on the ES. Nice, this is a good rejection. Maybe that's our second opportunity, guys. Let's try. Let's try. Even though things were shifting higher, but I'm testing another short. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so no, you can only use, this is to answer Priscilla. Priscilla, you can only use Black Arrow to trade futures. So no MT5 unless you're trading CFDs. And then, are there any additional fees for using the platform? No, there's actually no additional fees. Once you pay for the program, there are no additional fees for the platform. So it's a one-time thing and you're done. So let's see. Oh, we're turning bullish. Might get stopped out. But yeah, in my opinion, we were testing this this level. We're mid-range in the range, so we'll see if it happens. Quick way to see how much I'm risking is you can click there and it'll give you points, pips, and ticks. And right now I'm risking 20 points. So 1 minute, 20 points per trade for the current trading range. That's usually about what I risk. This way it gives it a little bit of room to breathe if I have a good entry. And yeah, so yeah, you could, a good thing about this is you could switch easily from, I forgot to show you that, from points to dollar amount to percentage to ticks, to pips for my Forex traders, and ticks if you're a futures trader who does this calculation in ticks. I usually do mine in points because it's easier. And yeah, risking 20 points. And then you can turn it off if you don't want to see it. So you're just clicking on it and flash it. Yeah, Joey says absolutely nasty. nasty price action. I'm thinking it'll be like this until oil breaks the 115 mark. All right, I'm gonna close this trade because it's obviously not gonna work out. So red today, but that's fine. So yeah, let's see where we're at on oil. Where's my oil? 115. Where's 115? Until we break this, yeah, we'll see. I think there's a lot of let's wait and see. Let's see what happens. That's probably what's going on, Joey. So yeah, we might see a lot of nasty price action. Let's see what the YM did. Oh, nice. This is looking like a nice recovery. But yes, we are sort of in a range. We're not seeing decisive moves yet. So we'll just have to see. Take this out. Now, if this breaks here decisively, we'll probably clear the upper part and fill the gap. We might fill it overnight and, end up there by tomorrow. We'll see. Or we'll see rejection again and a move down. But I took my two trades. We had one that was a scratch trade and one that was a red one. So half an hour loss for me. That's fine. We'll trade it again tomorrow. And let's see. Can I upgrade from 25K to 50K when account is break even, but it trades already? Let me read that again because I don't fully understand. Can I upgrade from 25 to 50K when the account is in break even, but it trades already? You can't upgrade from 25 to 50K. Basically, you could scale the account. So if you have a 25K account, you can just scale it to a 50K if you make, multiple 10% profit increments. But if the account is in break even, I don't really see what you're talking about here. You could scale the account. That's all I could say. You can't just move from a 25K to a 50K. Faisal asks, can I hold a position through the weekend? No, you cannot hold. That's very important. You cannot hold a position through the weekend. You have to close your position on Friday afternoon before the weekend starts. Otherwise, your account will get terminated. So this is a hard rule. This is a rule you don't want to break. So make sure you close your positions. You can hold them overnight throughout the week. So you can open a position on Sunday evening. Nice, we're breaking out. Or we want to break out. You can open your position Sunday evening and you close it on Friday afternoon. You can hold it for 5 days if you want, but you cannot hold it over the weekend. Just FYI. And Joey's asking, any word on having bigger accounts, by the way? Say 100K and hit 50K. I want to trade with you guys, but the accounts are too small. Well, for now, we only have the 25 and the 50K offer. So right now, the only option would be to scale your account. This way, your, what you're able to risk would grow. I understand the issue. I've had to adjust a little bit since I'm used to trading a little bit bigger accounts also, but it's totally fine. You can, the option you have for now is to scale your account. So you could scale from 50 to 100. But for now, we don't have, starting options of 100 and 150K accounts in the future. Maybe we'll have that soon, but for now, we only have these two offers. Faisal says, when will this be released? When will what be released? Are you talking about the program or are you talking about holding positions during the weekend? Kind of confused there. Give me a sec. Let me fix my headphones. Yeah, let me know, Faisal. Are you talking about the program, like the trading program of the fivers, or are you talking about holding positions through the weekend? I'm kind of confused. Let me know. We're seeing some nice rejection here around 6694. Joey's saying, is the program simulated, or is this a pathway to live? So for now, since we've just launched, for now it is simulated. We will maybe eventually get to that later, but for now, since we've just launched and we're figuring out the ins and outs of the program, well, they're figured out, but we've just released it to the public. It is a simulated environment. And for those that have been asking, you can copy trade 2 accounts. All right, so it looks like the ES is going to break out. Let's look at the NQ. NQ was more bullish, and we did break out. We're heading towards that resistance area that I had. We're filling that gap. As you can see here, let's go on a higher time frame, 15 minute. We are definitely filling this gap and continuing higher. So yes, we had this nasty price action earlier, and we then decided to move up decisively around here. I didn't really get great entry signals for my longs, so I didn't take one. But we live to trade another day. Let's check the YM. I know Daniel was trading that this morning. We're retesting this previous point of control, so we'll see. No problem. Anytime. And thanks for asking. Keep them coming. I like questions. If I can answer, I will. I know somebody asked earlier where, what assets they could trade. And I showed the list. If you go on our page in the FAQs, you scroll all the way down, you will find a list of all the assets you could trade. All right, let's look at oil again. So oil looked like it was going to do a little breakout right there, but we pulled back again. It seems like we're going to move lower. So I think we're going to hover around. We're probably going to do a gap fill, but on the downside, just like we did on the equities right now. And maybe we'll see a reversal. And I can't remember who was saying that we need to get to 115. Oh, it was Joey. Nasty price action. He's thinking it'll be like this until we break 115. So we'll see. Are we going to see something, kind of like this? We continue to move down and then test those previous levels and then reverse up. Go test those 115s. I don't know. Or, will we stay in a nasty pattern for a while and reverse up? We'll see what happens. I am not sure. We'll have to wait and see. I hope everybody had a good trading day today. I hope that you are green. Unfortunately, we have a small red day today, but that's fine. two trades. One was a scratch trade and one was a red trade. So we'll be back tomorrow to see what happens. So we got about 5 more minutes on the live. You guys let me know if you have more questions. We'll see. You're funny, Joe. Joey says Big Orange Man needs to announce something so we could get out of this daily job. Well, we'll see. He's pretty loud. He's constantly announcing things, and he just gave us a war. So I'd say that's pretty loud. I think we just have to be a little bit patient. You know, let's zoom out. Look at a daily chart. Let's look at the NQ. What do you trade, Joey? Mostly. Let's zoom out. Let's look on the daily. Yeah, so we've been even on the dailies, we've been chopping around for a while. So we'll have to see. I think we have to give it a couple of days. We're gonna have some news releases. Let's look at what's on the calendar. Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, we have home sales tomorrow. Shouldn't do too much. We have core inflation on Wednesday. So that's going to be, we're going to have the inflation rate. That's going to make stuff move, definitely. So we'll see there. NQNES. All right. I like that. Trade like me. So that was good. Evan says, I'm green on my personal account. Hit the daily loss limit on my 25K at Asia. Thanks to the lockout button. Okay. Oh, you use the lockout. Nice. Well, as long as you live to trade another day, that's fine. And I'm glad that you're green on your personal account. So we'll see. Green days are always nice, but red days are part of trading. Just have to make sure we survive. You said this is just ridiculous. Well, yeah, I don't like it either. I like when we just, either melt up or break down completely, but we're not always going to get these. So we just have to be patient and see. We had a nice pattern formation this morning, and I thought there was going to be follow through, but nope, that did not happen. We had some kind of weird ups and downs there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens during the rest of the week. Make sure everybody liked and everybody subscribed. I'm looking forward to this, and I'm definitely looking forward to doing it with the other traders that are gonna be there to share their experiences and talk about how to trade the war volatility. What I can say for now is keep your size small. You can see I'm trading very small size. I'm trading micros, and I'm taking very small units. Right? I'm trading one contract. You probably see me trading 1 or 2 contracts for the foreseeable future. I won't be trading big on the account because we have to take into account our losses. So yeah, keep your size small, stay disciplined, and you should be fine to go through this. And then for Joey, hopefully something happens to move the markets and things can get better. All right, guys, I hope you had a good time. It was a good time for me. Nice first time. And I'm looking forward to seeing you every day from 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on the Fivers Futures. Check out our Discord community. I will have some good stuff coming in there, some lessons and goodies for everybody. So make sure you sign up there, and I will see you there soon. Oh yeah, Evans talked about platform flickering. I'm sorry, I forgot to touch on that. So my question to you is, are you using the web version of the platform, or have you downloaded the platform? So make sure you download it, because the one that operates on your laptop, that the downloaded version is the better one. So I would suggest that. And also make sure you do all the upgrades. So from time to time, it's going to tell you to restart the platform, and we want you to do that. So make sure you do that, and it should fix the problem. All right, you downloaded it. Okay, make sure you do the upgrade. Go to, I think it's help, or do a search, and I can't remember. I'm gonna look for, but make sure it's upgrades all the time, and that's gonna stop the flicker. That should help you out. All right, guys, it is the time. It is my time. Thank you very much for everyone who was here today. This was fun, and I will see you soon in the markets.